Welcome to the Global Procurement Training Program. This video discusses the cold chain components of WHO emergency health kits. At the end of this video, you will know which WHO kits contains cold chain modules, how to properly handle a cold chain module, how to store the cold chain modules. Some medicines, the vaccines and immunoglobulins, need to be stored between +2 and +8 degrees Celsius. Those medicines, vaccines, or immunoglobulins are packed separately in a cold chain module. Cold chain modules contain key medicines that cannot be easily replaced by any other medicines. As such, when procuring these medicines or modules, proper planning is needed to avoid wastage. Cold chain modules will always be shipped by air in a passive cold chain box able to keep the adequate temperature for at least 96 hours. Which WHO kits contains cold chain? The Interagency Emergency Health Kit, IEHK, contains one cold chain module with oxytocin and insulin. The Trauma Emergency Surgery Kit, TESK, contains one cold chain module with tetanus vaccines and immunoglobulins and medicines, atracurium and suxamethonium. The Non-Communicable Disease Kit, NCDK, contains one cold chain module with insulins, 3 different types, and glucagon. The Collection, Testing, and Transfusion Kit, CTT, contains one cold chain module with blood grouping reagents. Let us see how to properly receive cold chain modules. Before receiving the order, carefully preparing the storage space before the shipment arrives will limit the risk of compromising the cold chain integrity. Firstly, verify the volume of the kit module to be received against your cold chain capacity. The shipping volume of the different modules is available from the WHO catalog. Then, verify that your refrigerator is functional and reaches the appropriate temperature, between +2 and +8 degrees Celsius. In order to do this, you need to monitor and record the temperature twice a day, at least 3 days in a row, before receiving the shipment. Finally, make sure that you have a backup source of power, especially if the shipment value is important. With no electricity power, depending on the refrigerator brand, with the door closed, temperature could be maintained for a few hours. At the reception of the cold chain modules. First, customs clearance should be fast-tracked or arranged in advance, so the cold chain modules are not left at the airport. Only few airports have adequate cold chain storage room. Then, open the cold chain box into the cold room or near the refrigerator and retrieve the data logger. The data logger is normally placed next to the medicines. Sometimes you can also find a second data logger outside of the cold chain box. Do not open the cold chain box when there is not cold chain capacity ready. Now let us understand how to read a data logger. Just insert the USB drive in a computer upon receipt. It will stop automatically. Do not try to stop a data logger manually. When the USB drive is inserted into a computer, a PDF is automatically uploaded. The PDF sheet displays data on the top and a graphic at the bottom. In this graphic example, we can see 2 temperatures excursions circled in red, which indicate that the medicines must be quarantined. In case of doubt about the reading, it is recommended to check with the pharmacist at country or regional level before distributing the item. Items in quarantine, waiting for an answer from the quality department, need to be stored in the refrigerator or the cold chain, but they must be clearly labeled and recorded as quarantined. Let us now understand the process of storage of cold chain modules. As soon as the data logger has been retrieved, the modules need to be taken out of the cold chain box and placed in the refrigerator or in the cold room. A cold chain box could contain several modules, but each module is clearly identified and labeled. Unless in transit, do not let the modules, the medicines, inside the foam box. Foam boxes need to be emptied and stored outside of the cold room. Remove the ice packs and store them in the refrigerator and/or the freezer so that they are available when you need to reassemble the cold box. Important points to remember. Cold chain items must always be handled and stored at the predefined temperature range. For all WHO standard kit, it is between +2 degrees Celsius and +8 degrees Celsius. Temperature must be monitored and recorded at least twice a day to maintain the item's quality, efficiency, and efficacy. Data logger must be retrieved, read, and graph validated systematically before shipment acceptance. Resources are available to better understand cold chain logistics and emergency health kits. The main ones are listed here. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon.